Now, if you have been paying attention, every single day of this election has been stuff up after lie after stuff up from the Labor Party. But the media, well, they don't want any other result than a coronation for Albo and his team of fools. They don't have a problem with the Greens being the co-pilots because just like the fake independents, the Greens reflect their real agenda. So they know that just like Joe Biden and all the way down to hiding in the basement, that's what Albo's doing right now. Their job in the media is to pretend everything about the government, absolute maximum scandal, nothing to say about the Labor Party. And the Labor Party have been breaking promises in opposition. These are not getting rid of Bill Shorten's policies. These are not getting rid of bad Rudd-Gillard policies. These are announcing for the short-term political gain, then scrapping their own ideas. This is raising people's hopes, then dashing it before an election, hoping that no one would notice. Like the $300 payment for everyone who's been vaccinated. Well, that, of course, was a lie because it's not taking place and it cost them nothing. But if they had made that promise law, it would have been $8 billion. An $8 billion broken promise from opposition. And then, of course, remember they said they were going to have a version of Gillard's school hall plan. They announced it in just this year in economic statements. But guess what? They're not going to do that. So that would be a lie that they promised to do it in the first place. It's not a backflip. It's a broken promise. It is a lie. And this one is a $14 billion broken promise. All up, $22 billion of broken promises while they're in opposition. Or more importantly, $22 billion worth of lies and BS. Well, today, another massive lie. Albanese will tell all and sundry that he has a plan for nurses to be in aged care facilities 24 hours a day. When he made this speech, it was his budget in reply speech. He didn't mention any numbers associated with this. He instead leaked those to the media who put them in the headlines. $2.5 billion, not over 1 year, but over 4, maybe 5. And as became very clear, there aren't enough nurses in Australia for that to take place, and you won't be able to train enough nurses overnight to honour the promise.
How many nurses would you need to find?
Don't you think that Australians wonder why there isn't a nurse in every nursing home 24/7?
Certainly, but they might also wonder where you'll get nurses. Do you know how many nurses you'll need in order to deliver that one promise?
Look, the sector will grow.
Well, guess what? He also made assurances to the health unions who are doing his bidding by striking all over the country between now and the election that all of these jobs will be for Australians. But guess what? That is a lie, because today Anthony Albanese promises to bring in overseas health workers to get his promise over the line. So he lies about nurses, he lies about schools, he lies about vaccine compensation. Yet the media, none of this is considered good enough to talk about on the 6 p.m. news.
How badly is the Solomon Islands deal playing for the PM?
Any day spent talking about national security, the coalition would typically chalk up as a win. But there's a question mark over that now because there are questions over the government's competency.